what they want to do on offense and positive plays. If that was what they were trying to do, they've really got to be upset, even though they're up 3-0, because they have not been able to execute the way they've wanted to on offense.
Centeno is the lone setback. Dropping back is Connor Wynn, and he overthrows his intended receiver. Brad Sochowski, who they have targeted twice, once by Wynn and once by Higgins on a trick play. And Sochowski's pretty darn good. He's a kid who last year caught 65 catches, won a CIF championship in hoops.
And all he does is everything you ask of him. So he's a good kid with the right attitude. I saw him in pregame warm-ups, just wants to win, wants to play, wants to help his team however he can. And how can you not like a guy like that?
2nd down and 10 for Wynn and the Grizzlies at their own 27-yard line. And a shuffle pass, and that's incomplete. Not sure who that was intended for in the middle. It looked like nothing but lineman numbers around. I don't think there was a receiver anywhere near that play.
Well, they say that you drop every play to be a touchdown, and I think that one fell drastically short of that desired end result.
And now you have a 3rd down and 10. Connor, his brother Jordan, a standout at Oceanside High School, then Utah, now actually coaches as a graduate assistant at Hawaii. He was an assistant there, and Jordan in 2008 quarterbacked Oceanside to a state championship. And as Ali told you, Connor began his career as a freshman at Oceanside. He had 1 free transfer, and he came across the 78 here to Mission Hills. And Wynn unloads it there, and not much of a gain as Scott Higgins makes the grab. He's a kid who had a big summer in passing league tournaments, and they didn't shy away from playing anybody in passing league, but that was a bad little drive there for Mission Hills. They're going to have to punt it away.
Exactly. And in terms of playing teams in passing league, I played at Coronado. We didn't have very many linemen, and so we'd go against everybody. Sure, take on all comers because very limited contact and everything. You feel like a big dog out there. I remember I went against Brandon Bournes from Rancho Buena Vista. He was press man coverage on me, jammed his finger in my mouth. I was like, oh, I would not want to go against this guy in pads for certain.
Ty Cottrell secures the fair catch at the 35-yard line, and by far the best starting field position for the Pirates. Let's see now if Romero isn't backed up inside his own 20, if maybe with the extra yardage right here in real estate, he can orchestrate a good drive, because Oceanside hasn't had one here tonight.
No, they sure haven't, and so you got to get something going eventually. I mean, they're scoring upwards of 61 points, I think, last week against Poway, 39 points against a talented Serra Gardena team. I mean, they can score with the best of them, but thus far, almost all the way through the first quarter, 3/4 of the way through the first quarter, if you're a math major, and nothing. I mean, not even past the 50-yard line. So.
No, not even a first down yet. And they run it up the middle, and that's Bernard, and by far their best run as he gets 5 yards up to the 40-yard line. So a 2nd down and manageable 5. October the 4th, here's what we have for you. We're going inside the city live at 7. Venice at Dorsey. That'll be a lot of fun. Staying in the city at midnight. San Fernando at Silmar. Channel 825 high definition in San Diego. 354 high definition in Los Angeles. Football Fridays here on Time Warner Cable Sports. 2nd down and 5 from the Oceanside 40. Romero with 4 receivers and a quick little throw, and the catch is made by Johnny Arzola, but for not much of a gain, just 2 yards at best.
And so they've tried stretching the field, but have had limited success. Mission Hill's defensive line's been getting in the backfield. Romero threw an interception, and so now they're just trying to get a short to intermediate passing game going, and that's a natural choice. Matthew Romero just getting the ball out of his hands quickly, but the Mission Hills defense is ready for that. You can't do that all day. 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, see what they can do and dial up on offense right here.
Oceanside still looking for their first down as we have played almost 10 minutes here of the first quarter play. That's Jace Whitaker in motion. Here's Bernard, and he's got the first down, and Bernard across midfield to the 48-yard line of Mission Hills.
So Bernard, just a hammer in there. Figured 3 yards, sure, I can get it. I'm going to put my head down. Bounces it outside, got a huge running lane. A good block right there from Jace Whitaker. Stock blocking on the outside, and Bernard able to fall forward. Big gainer there, first down like you talked about. Now in Mission Hills territory and trying to even the score or do them 4 better.
Bernard's one of those guys in the same mold as like a William Gully from last year. Very durable two-way starter that gets it done at linebacker and running back. Kind of flies under the radar but gets you some big yards. Romero down the middle of the field, and the catch is made at the 15-yard line. It's Micah Holder, who's headed to San Diego State next year in the biggest game of the ball game for the Oceanside Pirates.
Well, I saw that
35-yard catch.
Yeah, I saw that play developing, and Deshaun Holiday felt like he was in good coverage, and Michael Holder put his hand up asking for the ball on the post route, and so Romero just putting it right on the money. You see right there, over the defenders, Deshaun Holiday closing quickly, thought he'd be able to get there before the ball did, but he was wrong, and right there, Holder able to take the Oceanside offense into the red zone.
You know, one guy we haven't seen targeted yet is T.K. Dodds. He might get an opportunity here down to the red zone. A reverse. Whitaker to Cottrell, and Cottrell right at the 10-yard line runs right into Fred Warner. And Warner was down a couple of drives ago, had to come off after a delay, but he's back out there and makes a big stop.
Well, and just like the first play of the game offensively for Oceanside, it's Cottrell and Warner meeting there in the hole, and Warner getting the better of them both times. Coach Hauser talked about Ricky Luchin, talked about Fred Warner, said those two guys are two of the best linebackers in the city, if not the state. He said he'd put them up against anybody.
Cottrell not able to find it on the ground here. He came in 7 carries for 191 yards this season on the ground, 3 touchdowns. He's had a few touches running, but hasn't been able to get anything. That's Whitaker in motion, and this is Cottrell, and Cottrell puts his head down and gets inside the 5-yard line down to the 4.
See a decent tackler, better late than never for Esteban Centeno, but there's that first down, able to get a little bit right there. Well-designed play. You see number 58 for Oceanside pulling around there. Big old Andres Gonzalez, one of the best linemen on the Oceanside line right there, and a big body to follow. So you got big and little right there, and just tuck behind Andres Gonzalez. You'll be good whichever way you go.
First and goal from the 4. Here's Bernard, and this is Bernard territory, and he's down to the 3-yard line, bringing up second down and goal. So Oceanside didn't have a first down until they took possession of the football here with about just over 2 minutes to go in the quarter. That's the final play of the first quarter, and they get 3 first downs on this drive. And when we return for the start of the second quarter of play, Oceanside will have its second down and goal as they try and take their first lead of the game. A 44-yard field goal by Mission Hills, the only scoring that we've had here in the opening quarter. And as we get set to head to the second quarter, it is second-ranked Mission Hills 3, top-ranked Oceanside nothing. We'll return to Mission Hills after this.
This is your school. This is your school on TV. This is the website. This is where you vote on the website to get your school on TV. Time Warner Cable is giving you the chance to select which CIF football matchup will be our game of the week. Go to SoCal101TV.com now to cast your vote. You choose, you vote, you win. Only on Time Warner Cable.
Can I watch cartoons?
Oh, why don't you go outside and play? Oh.
But there's a storm.
Sorry, buddy. Uverse has their limits. Mom's recording 2 shows, Grandpa's watching the news, and I gotta watch the end of this. And that's the limit. I'll be out right after the game.
With Time Warner Cable, you can watch more than 4 shows at the same time.
If you reached your limit, it's time to rethink Uverse. Call 1-855-WANT-TWC to get TV, internet, and phone for as little as $79.99 a month. Ask how you can upgrade and get a $300 Visa reward card. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better.
It is 1 versus 2. So far, number 2 ranked Mission Hills with the only score and only points of the game. They lead at 3-0. Let's go down to the field. Third member of our team, Allie Sturm. Allie?
Thanks, guys. So Time Warner Cable's latest show, Game Changers, takes an in-depth look at the impact coaches can have on the lives of students, teachers, and athletes. And this upcoming episode features somebody that is well known to the Oceanside residents, the sometimes irreverent but always respected, ladies and gentlemen, Coacher Meyer.
Don't be backing up. Geez, we've been at this long enough now, we ought to know. Come back. Some kids need a kick in the butt to get motivated. Other kids need a pat on the back to get motivated.
He's always been a leader and always an important person for everyone who enters the sport. There's not many young guys today that are sticking around like he did or are showing the leadership that he showed.
Then tuck it in and run, but catch it before you run. If everybody would do whatever they had to do to be the best they could be, they wouldn't need a coach. But that's not human nature. human nature is get by with as little as possible, you know. And so coaches are there to push you. And they're not there to berate you. They're not there to, you know, to beat you down, but they have to push you to get better. And you have to do it in such a way that the kids understand it's a positive thing. Hey, you can't score running back to the bench.
Truly a remarkable career for Coach Meyer, starting with Oceanside and then retiring while at El Camino. 10 CIF championships, and he has one henning stuck of a ring to prove it. 338 wins, 30 playoff appearances, and while retired from head coach in 2003, Coach Meyer still remains active through coaching clinics and speaking engagements. So, Stephen JT, tune in to Game Changers. This episode featuring Herb Meyer will be Saturday night at 8 p.m.
Thank you, Allie, and we get to see his bling that she talked about. That's awesome. I love Herb, by the way. He's one of my favorite of all time.
Yeah, no, and I've already got it DVR'd, Allie, so I appreciate the reminder. And you saw Ed Burke and Herb Meyer there. I mean, you had that coaching experience together. You're a centennial, maybe. Those guys have been in football as long as the game's been around. So great to see those two, and on Game Changers, that'll certainly be a quality insight into San Diego County football.
Herb has sent a lot of guys out of the National Football League. And I went to Arizona. He reminds me of Arizona head coach Dick Tomey. They're like one and the same to me. All right, second down and goal from inside the 5-yard line as Oceanside tries to take their first lead, and they're going to get it as Ty Cottrell spins forward and has a touchdown, his 4th rushing touchdown of the year, and it's 6-3 Oceanside.
And so you take the hammer and then you bring the nail. You got Josh Bernard on the play before, and then right there Ty Cottrell able to really bring it home, and Cottrell just so fast and elusive. You know, if you get your hands on him, you get a square hit on him like Fred Warner's done twice tonight, you can bring him down. But if you don't, he's just so elusive. You talked about his impressive stat line earlier, and just adding another touchdown, another notch in that old belt.
Oceanside coming in, it scored 182 points in 4 previous games. They're averaging 45.5 points per game, and this is their first score, and it comes in the opening 3 seconds of the second quarter of play. And it is 6-3 as we await the extra point here. Jackson Kuntz doing the honors here for Oceanside. And it is blocked. And it's going to remain a 3-point game. And how big will that be remains to be seen. Well, it looks like it was Fred Warner again who got his mitts in there for the block.
You want to endear yourself to the local fans and the local prep football scene and to recruiters alike. Show high effort. They say the only thing you can control is your attitude and your effort. And he's got a great attitude. I saw him out there doing all the pregame stuff. Yes, sir. All the good stuff with the coaches, and then the effort right there. Undeniable. Coming off the edge there. Jackson Kuntz is a premier kicker. You'll see he's going to put it in the end zone. I bet my bottom dollar on it. He's a touchback machine, and so he's used to kicking those extra points. That's a testament right there to Fred Warner, able to come around that edge, get his hand on the ball, and then make a difference. You want to talk about game changers, put him on the show.
It's been a long time since I have seen a team put this good of a defensive stand to start a ball game against a team the caliber of Oceanside.
Exactly, and so Oceanside is amongst the elite, not only in the county or the state, but in the nation. Certainly going to be one of the top 100, top 200 teams when it's all said and done. And so they play any and all challengers. And so Mission Hills, at Mission Hills, great atmosphere, great intensity. The whole city of San Marcos, Escondido, they all want the victory, but Oceanside's not going to be too easy to give it away.
And again, the Pirates trying to navigate this game without their best lineman on both sides of the ball, Tony Pineda. And you were right, my partner and my friend there. That is a touchback coming out to the 20-yard line where Connor Wynn is going to get things started. Last year threw for 2,433 yards and 21 touchdowns and led his team into the CIF championship game against Eastlake. It's the 3rd time they have been in the title game. Relatively new school here along the 78 corridor in San Marcos. They're 0 for 3 in title games. Oceanside got them twice. And last year, Eastlake got him 21-14, and he had a big turnover late in the ball game. But still kind of stewing in his craw right there as he tries to lead his team in his senior year to a CIF championship. But again, they're in the open division, and most likely will have to play Oceanside again before it's all said and done. They'll keep it on the ground. Here's a run to the outside, and that is Cameron Canteen. And the sophomore with his first touch, and not much there.
Just a mutiny aboard the Mission Hills pirate ship right there. Everybody, all the Pirates converging upon the ball carrier there. Just a great effort there on defense, a team defensive effort right there. And again, another negative play for Mission Hill's offense. It seems like they've had as many negative plays or penalties as they have positive plays.
Should be running back by committee without Anthony Batista in there out with the ankle injury. They could have as many as 6 guys touch the football and run it. Win over the middle, and a great catch made at the 20-yard line. It's only going to be a gain of about 3 yards. But that is Scott Higgins, the senior.
You see how hard they got to work just for those 3 measly yards. I mean, that's a testament to the secondary and the great coverage that you're going to see all night long from this Oceanside defense. They can play cover 1, man coverage. They can play cover 2, where they guard the deep half of the field. They can play cover 3, where the cornerbacks need to guard a deep third of the field. It doesn't matter. They're comfortable with all of it, and they're outstanding. They have been all season.
Big 3rd down and 8. Win with time, throws for Higgins, and he made the catch for the first down. He had that Division I signee, Jace Whitaker, who's headed to Arizona, all over him, and they complete a first down pass here.
They sure did, and that was a great attempt, and that was by design, certainly. I talked with Coach Hauser earlier on this week. He called that play 79 cut, a 15-yard comeback route, 7-man protection, said we should see it a couple times, so don't be surprised if they go back to the well. They practiced that many a time.
Heck of a pickup there, and the drive continues here. Almost 2 minutes gone by in the second quarter of play, 1 versus 2. And on a draw play, it looks like it's Ricky Luchin, and Luchin with a couple of yards on the gain makes it 2nd down and 8. Earlier in the ball game, here's the scoring drive by Mission Hills. And that's Holiday with the pick. That's the first one that Romero has thrown all season as we play here in week 5. And then it is Connor Wynn with a big first down run. And then the field goal of 44 yards by Esteban Centeno. And that is Luchin, a big, tough runner. And Ricky Luchin right up the middle there. 6'2", 210-pound senior. A load to bring down for the Pirates.
Yeah, and if you can get him going, you want to talk about power. Something like work plus force plus distance or something like that. I don't know. I'm not a science major, but he was moving. He was a locomotive, tough to bring down, and a first down gain right there. And so a little bit of success in the run game. And you want the pass game to do well, you got to have success in the run game. It's a double-edged sword right there.
I saw Life of Pi the other day. It reminded me of you.
Oh, thanks.
Here's Luchin, and Luchin up the middle for about a yard. 2nd down and 9. Because you're the guy that can remember Pi to like the 100th number, right?
Well, I had to sit down and spend a little time on it, Steve. I sure appreciate that. I'm not sure the place for that in the high school football game, but you know, the players are athletes too, athletes and students. And so right there you see just a lot of white bodies getting in there, not able to have as much success on that run play as they were the time before, and so good collaborative effort again by the Oceanside defense.
See if they go back to the air with that safety right in the middle there in TK Dodds. And Wynn getting forced out, getting wrapped up and brought down back at the 40-yard line. Hey, what do you know? Not Tommy Wu. This time it is Alex Moran, and the senior with a sack of Connor Wynn.
Yeah, but you know Tommy Wu had something to do with it. He's always in there causing havoc, creating all sorts of chaos, but just team effort. You know, if it's not Tommy Wu, it's Alex Moran. If it's not him, it's any of their other outstanding, you know, Josh Bernard, linebacker. They've got guys in there that can all get the job done, and then we've talked about their secondary enough. So plenty of talent on defense.
This is Higgins on 3rd down and 4. He's got some space. He's got the first down, and he gets dragged down at the 37-yard line. TK Dodds grabbed him from behind and still had to ride 3 or 4 yards on Higgins' back.
And just a good catch and run right there by Higgins. Able to get the ball in the flat. You get the ball to your playmakers in space and let them do what they do. And so you see right there, Connor Wynn, ball out of his hand quickly so the defensive line can't get to him. And then Higgins, moderately elusive right there, able to find a seam. You get some good stock blocking right there. A lot of effort by the Mission Hills receivers, and just that simple, good quality football.
On the ground, they keep it. And here's a carry by Centeno to the 30-yard line. And now they're starting to pick up some good yardage on first down They'll be in a 2nd down and short here for the first time all night.
And Coach Hauser was trying to temper expectations before the game started. He didn't want people to think that they were going to come in and blow Oceanside out. You know, some people really got emotionally hijacked and were worried about the outcome of the game. He wants to milk the clock, run what they run, control the game, keep the fans in it. And so right now he's got to be at least somewhat happy with how things are going.
Only a matter of time as Centeno gets upended by Jace Whitaker for no gain. Only a matter of time before we see Brad Sochowski. I know they've targeted their top receiver a couple times to no avail, but it's only a matter of time, I would think, before he makes a catch or two and starts to open things up more.
Well, exactly. And you create, you know, passing concepts and everything to get the ball to him. And so they're going to be creative. It's on the coaches to find the way to get the playmakers the ball. And so you got Jace Whitaker on defense. You don't need to find a way to get him the ball. He's going to find the ball himself. And you see right there, great play, great open field tackle.
They go to the ground to try and convert this 3rd down, and Ricky Luchin is wrapped up and brought down after no gain. And it's Brandon Badillo, a 6', 255-pound senior, saying, not on my watch.
And so, you know, they were thinking maybe it could be 4-down territory, maybe try and set themselves up for the field goal. Instead, they go back a little bit, still thinking that the field goal is a possibility. You saw the leg that Centeno had on the first field goal, and so right now it looks like they're setting up for a 50-yarder, and I said that's about what I saw his ability to kick, you know, regularly, consistently in the pregame. We'll see what he can do here.
I think I made the point where it probably would have been good from 54. Now this outside the hash mark right from 50 yards. And it's on its way, and it is good to tie it up with 5:51 to go in the 2nd quarter. Wow.
And that one looked like it would have been good from 54 as well, Steve. Just a true, well-struck ball by Centeno, keeping them in it. The kicking game, you got to win all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams. And so it's been a little bit of a stalemate on offense and defense. But this special teams really changing the game right now, keeping the game tight. Mission Hill's able to milk the clock a little bit with a time-consuming drive, and then Centeno able to cash in 3 points and that blocked extra point. You talked about we didn't know how it would impact the rest of the game, but right now, tie ball game.
We started to discuss in our open about how anticipated this game was, 1 versus 2. We don't get it very often in the San Diego section, and when we do, it's normally at the Q, the final game of the year or the semifinals or something of that nature. But here it is week number 5, and it has certainly lived up to the billing right now. I mean, when can you see 1 and 2 playing to a 6-6 tie with a field goal of 44 yards and 50 yards already in the ballgame?
Well, hardly ever. And normally you've got small schools and big schools and private schools and public schools all ranked. It's a real mishmash. Well, you've got 2 North County schools, and obviously the schedule was set prior to this season, so both teams have done what they needed to do to be ranked atop the leaderboards and the standings rather. And so here you are, 1 versus 2, and playing out like it right now. Maybe the number 2 a little less talented, but you get that home field advantage. And right now 6-6 with 5:51 left to go.
This is the 7th meeting between these 2 schools. The first time they met, 2007, was in the San Diego section Division II title game. Oceanside won 26-7. Then in 2009, a big win in the regular season, 28-7. Oceanside another win in 2010 of the regular season, 48-28. And then in 2010, big win in the Division II title game. And then Oceanside and Mission Hills, a 10-10 tie in 2011. And then they met last year with Oceanside winning 26-17. And Oceanside has outscored Mission Hills 185-79 coming in.
Well, and I was going to say, with all those scores, the common denominator mathematically is just the Mission Hills offense struggling, not able to put up a lot of points. And Coach Hauser knew that he can't rely on his offense to try and score 25, 30 points to win this game. You got to keep it tight, and that's exactly what they've done thus far.
Bernard shoots forward for a first down run of about 8 yards. So they will move the chains. Hey, coming up Wednesday night at 8 on Varsity Roundup, our panel will feature highlights and analysis from the Edison versus Modern Age showdown in Santa Ana. Plus, Danny Page sits down with St. Bonaventure quarterback Ricky Town and a preview of next week's Game of the Week. Fans' choice matchup between city rivals San Fernando and Sylmar. Don't miss any of the action. The all-new episode of Varsity Roundup Wednesday night at 10 right here on SoCal 101 HD. Danny Page talking to one of his Ventura County guys. Loves him. Romero going vertical downfield, and the catch is made. Penalty marker. It's Micah Holder, and he got tripped up by Centeno. A touchdown saving tackle. Also, the flag might have something to do with that as well. And that penalty marker is down at about the 37-yard line. The play was taken at the 37-yard line on the other side of the field. And that's going to be declined. That was pass interference against Mission Hills, so the play will stand.
Looked like maybe a little tugging on the jersey right there. Centeno trying to keep up with Elijah Holder, and just all sorts of talent out there on the Oceanside offense, or Micah Holder rather, and Micah able to pull it in and just clipped up there at the end, but into the Mission Hills part of the field on the 22-yard line, it looks like. And so Mission Hills trying to keep Oceanside off the board. Last time they were able to score a touchdown, they were this deep in Mission Hills territory. We'll see how this drive ends up for Oceanside.
That is the biggest gain offensively for Oceanside here in the football game, as they're just outside the Mission Hills red zone. Romero going to go to work in the air again. And now Romero rolls out. Now he'll fling it for the front corner of the end zone. And is it picked again? And it is picked again. Deshaun Holiday with his second interception of the first half.
Yogi Berra, since it's deja vu all over again, Steve. It's same play. It looked like a mirror image. And Coach Carroll's got to be getting on Matt Romero, because Romero's made some great throws to move the ball down the field, but it's not worth a darn thing if you're throwing picks. That's his second interception of the season, second interception of the game, and ends up amounting to a pick on the 1-yard line. His momentum took him into the end zone, but they're not giving him the touchback. They're giving him the ball on the 1-yard line. Either way, thwarting the scoring attempt right there by Oceanside. Deshaun Holiday trying to make a name for himself. He's heard about Fred Warner and the Holder twins and all these guys getting scholarships. He said, what about me? Me too.
Yeah, just a junior. He has a cousin that played here last year that now plays at the University of Arizona, and actually as a true freshman has played in every single game so far for a 3-0 Wildcat team. In a couple of years with this kid's size at 6'2", and that athletic ability, most likely he'll be a Division I scholarship athlete. Romero came in having completed 79% of his passes, 6 touchdown throws and not a pick, and Deshaun Holiday has intercepted him twice here in the first half.
He's alone in that capability and that capacity of having interceptions against Matthew Romero, and right there, just a great coaching call, a great decision. You're on the 1-yard line. The detriment of having a false start or any sort of negative penalty is going to be about a half yard, if that. And then conversely, 5 yards offside, sure. 1st and 5 is sure a lot easier, a heck of a lot easier than that 1st and 10 on that 1-yard line. They got a little bit of room to breathe.
Connor Wynn trying to put together a 99-yard scoring drive. They go to the ground, and they'll run it right up the gut. Gain of a yard by Esteban Centeno. And a stop there made by Oceanside's Isaac Dixon, a 215-pound senior.
And expect Mission Hills to just milk the clock, try and limit the opportunities for Oceanside throughout the game. Anytime they get the opportunity, you know, 2nd and short, 3rd and short, don't be surprised if they go conservative and just try and keep the ball moving and the clock moving, because it's going to be about possessions and points. And so the fewer possessions that Oceanside gets, the fewer opportunities they have to put points on the board. And right now, you've been a little fortuitous in having 2 interceptions on Matthew Romero thus far.
2nd down and 4. And it's Luchin, and Luchin is awfully close to the first down. First down make was the 12-yard line. Let's see what kind of a spot they give him, and he will in fact get a first down here for Mission Hills.
The recipe for a big upset, and this would be a pretty large upset, especially in the city of San Diego with Oceanside's history and Mission Hills never having beaten them. The recipe for an upset is just hang around, stay close. Occasionally you can blow a team out in an upset game, a 2 versus 1. Highly unlikely to see that, and so Mission Hills just trying to bleed the clock. Maybe score some points at the end of the drives, but just be responsible with the ball. No negative plays.
A run up the middle out to the 20-yard line. And that carry made right there by Ricky Luchin, 210-pound fullback.
I said earlier, you get him going. He's like a freight train.
Well, you choose the telecast. That's right. Time Warner Cable's Fans Choice gives you the chance to vote for your favorite crosstown rivalries to air on TV. It's easy. Go to SoCal101TV.com and vote for your favorite matchup. Vote as often as you like and see your team on television. 6-6 tie here in the second quarter. This is Wynn running for the first down, and Wynn to the 27-yard line.
And right there, they'd been feeding the ball up the gut, so everybody collapsed on it. Connor Wynn saw that, very keen to what the defensive end was doing, just pinching down, and so that's his key, to take the ball outside and run.
Mission Hills scored in the first quarter on a 44-yard field goal by Esteban Centeno. That made it 3-0. It took until the second quarter for Oceanside finally to get a first down. They had a drive that had 3 first downs. Ty Cottrell, a 3-yard touchdown score, but a missed extra point made it 6-3. And then Centeno just came back with 5:51 to go and hit a 50-yard field goal to tie this game up at 6. And both field goals have been from the hash marks. They've been from outside the goalpost, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, pretty unlikely to see that at a high school game, and so a real testament to his ability to punch it through there. And so right now what you're seeing is Mission Hill's kind of bleeding the clock, and Oceanside